Hello lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be making the pattern of this dress, and it's a DIY pattern. It's a corset dress that you can make very easy, just purely DIY. To all our subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and supporting us. And if you are new here, please like and subscribe to our channel. This is the fabric I'll be using for the dress, and the chiffon fabric, what I did was I ironed paper stay to it. You can use stay if you want, but I decided to use paper stay for mine. And this is the cup. I use my cup size, which is size 42, and I bought a bigger cup size 44. Then the boning and the lining piece. My pattern paper, I removed 5 inches from it. I minus 5 inches from it before I started drafting the pattern. What you're going to do is you take your bra cup and you mark the midpoint. That's going to be for your underbust. My underbust is 14 inches. You put, after you doing that, take your tape and you mark it. I marked 17 inches for the waist and added 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then my underbust is 14 inches. As you can see, you see the 14 inches underneath the bra cup. We've minus the 5 inches and we are starting from that beginning of the bra cup. That's where we are starting from. After marking the necessary lines, you are going to just connect the lines. Connect it. This is a DIY pattern. If you don't want to go through the stress of drafting the pattern from the scratch, this is just something you can just do easily, and you can make so many pieces out of it. I marked my waist, my blouse length, or the length of the top. It depends on you if you want to use it as a crop top. When I'm done, I went ahead and marked the edge of the bra cup. I want to insert the measurement. Then after doing that, I took my tape and put it across for the bust measurement, because that is where we are going to add our bust measurement. So what my bust measurement is 10.5. That is dividing your bust measurement by 4. After doing that, I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. After doing that, take your pen and you are going to just curve it round. Okay, so you are tracing the bra cup on your pattern paper. Just trace it out. Be very careful while tracing it out. Okay, so after tracing it out, you are going to connect it to that 1.5 inch that you added for the sewing allowance. Okay, so you are going to just connect it to the 1.5 inches. After connecting it, you are just going to get your armhole for your dress. Okay, so connect it and you get your armhole. Then when you are done, you divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, and what I have was 4 inches. Okay, 8 divided by 2, 4. You connect it to your underbust with your ruler, connect it to a straight line and insert your dart. So I use 1/2 inch. You can use 0.75 if you want. Okay, if your bust is, if you're a plus size. So after doing that, we've gotten our dart for the upper part of our dress. So what you are going to do, insert your body measurement, and my waist was 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. Then I added the dart and also the sewing allowance. So I basically always like adding my sewing allowance, stitching everything to my pattern paper before cutting it out. Okay, so after doing that, I'll be adding the zip by the side. I use my marker to just make it very plain, and you are going to cut it out. So for the back, I decided to just mark the back, and I'll just be tracing out the dart for the back. The back, I did not insert the armhole or anything. So you just take your dart to the chest line and connect it. Okay, so I'm tracing it out and I'm going to cut it out. The back pattern is very easy, and after cutting it out, just mark the relevant line to it. Please label everything you are doing together. Label it so that you'll be able to know which is to which when you want to start stitching yours. So we are done with the back pattern. So for the front, to cut it out, I had to divide the bra cup area. Okay, so I connected it to the dart and marked everything, A, B, C, and D. So that's what I have for the front. So what you are going to do, you mark the half an inch that you'll be adding, the part you'll be cutting on fold, the part you'll be adding, your sewing allowance. Okay, so you have to just cut out everything that you need. Okay, so I cut it out and voila, I've gotten the DIY pattern for my dress. So you can make it together without separating it if you don't want to, but well, I want to separate mine, so I decided to just cut it out, remove the dart. You can remove the dart and gum it together and just make your dress if you don't want to stitch it in the middle. Let's go over to the down pattern of the dress. Okay, so that is basically our skirt pattern. You mark your waist measurement plus your dart and also your 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. That's what I just inserted, and I marked the dart with 4 inch for nipple to nipple measurement, and I came down by 5 inches. Then connect it with a straight line, then mark half an inch on both sides. Okay, so this is basically your skirt pattern, and this is what we'll be using for the bottom part of the dress. So you fold your pattern paper into two because we are having the full skirt. Okay, it's just the full front skirt, and I'll be using this to cut the front and the back. So you come down by 9 inches and you connect it. After connecting it, inserted my hip measurement plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I added my waist to my above the knee. Okay, so after connecting it, I added my waist to round above knee, and what I had was 19 inches. I marked the 19 inches and I drew a straight line. After doing that, my round above knee divided by 4 is 9 inches, and you are going to connect it. Okay, so you add your 1.5 inch sewing allowance, then you connect it with your hip curve. Okay, so after connecting it, I have gotten my skirt. I went ahead and add, I think, extra half an inch for ease because I don't want it to be very, very tight on my round above knee. So I connected it, then I used the ruler to connect it straight down to my M line. So whatever I add on my round above knee, I inserted it on the M line and connected it down. Okay, so we've gotten the skirt area. Cut it out. Then I went to the dart area and I drew a straight line down to the M line. Okay, so that's what I did, and notched the dart area for the back purpose. So open it up and you see this is your skirt, and that part that we drew the straight line, that's for our slit. So you are going to mark where you want the slit to stop. Okay, so I want it to stop just above my knee. I don't want it to stop higher or lower than that. Okay, so just marked the area that I'm going to cut. That was what I just marked. Then I inserted what I will add while cutting it. Sorry. So you add your half an inch sewing allowance, and this is it. So you use this now to cut the front and the back. Then for the front, you have to separate it, okay, so that you'll be able to get the slit area. So basically, this is our pattern for our dress, and this is it. Don't mind me, I'm just doing an illustration on how it's going to be when we are done stitching it up, okay. Please, I'm going to post the sewing tutorial on Thursday. Yes, I'll be posting it this Thursday. Next, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, guys, always label your pattern so that you'll be able to know where to attach which. Okay, and when you finish cutting it on your fabric,